My grandmother Judith Barslovsky was born in 1903 in Romny, a northern Ukrainian town. In 1906, following a pogrom, Judith and her family, along with other Jewish families, left to seek a better life in what was then Palestine. My grandfather Morris Oberman, born in 1899 also in Ukraine, played mandolin in a chamber orchestra accompanying the silent pictures. At the age of 12, he immigrated to Palestine along with his family. Both my grandparents' families and the communities they joined were true pioneers, cultivating this desert country which became Israel years after they migrated to Canada. Judith played guitar, and Morris, an accomplished mandolin player, lived in two separate towns. They met as teenagers through their mutual love of music. After they became engaged, a family friend sponsored Morris to come to Canada, offered him a job, and paid his passage to Montreal. It took 2 years for Morris to raise enough money to pay for Judith's boat ticket to Canada. While waiting, Judith spent a year in Paris with her sister and brother-in-law. The two sisters found employment hand-embroidering dresses and shawls with colored threads or beads for designer boutiques. My close relationship with my Savta and Saba, Hebrew for grandparents, was an integral part of my childhood. Judith didn't stock her home with children's toys, but taught me hand-clapping games and ways of manipulating string, like finger crocheting and cat's cradle. When I showed interest in sewing, Judith instructed me in the art of hand embroidery, which I took to and readily enjoyed. First with cross-stitch, then on to more complicated stitches. She was always patient and encouraging. I think of my Savta to this day, whenever I'm embroidering pictures onto T-shirts and baby onesies as gifts. Spending time alone with Savta also meant her tutoring me with my Hebrew studies and hearing her retell stories about her family struggles growing up in Palestine. Neither of my grandparents ever mentioned anything about the Ukrainian family history. Putin's war with Ukraine has recently elicited my interest in the birthplace and original culture of my ancestors. I now realize that my grandmother's talent for embroidering, which is perpetuated through generations of beautifying traditional Ukrainian clothes, flows through me as well. I'm grateful to Judith for connecting me with this rich part of my Ukrainian heritage. Other than music, dance, and even beat borscht, I continue to find new ways of identifying my Ukrainian roots.